to me, cars are for driving, sneakers are for wearing. Explain why I would want to invest in collectibles. What is it about these that makes it an interesting investment theme?
Yeah, first and foremost, apologies on the delay. Can you hear me good on your side?
Yep.
Perfect. So I think that the way we think about it is you have these intangible and these tangible elements of any investment. So when we think about collectibles in general, I think that you have this strong emotional connection. And at Rally, we've always looked at that as kind of a passion-led investment. That's how we've always described it. And the idea is that, we have a great collection of things on our platform, for example. And that's everything from classic cars to baseball cards to political memorabilia, all these things that elicit this great emotional response. But they've had these incredible returns over a long period. It's just been sort of for a very small group of people been able to access the liquidity in those returns. So we look at two things whenever we look at an investment. It's one, the track record of appreciation over time, which a lot of times for something like a classic car, as you know, if you're thinking about cars from the 60s and the 50s, even on our platform, you have decades of return history and decades of sort of history of an individual vehicle. The typical lifespan of a publicly traded company right now is somewhere around 12, 13 years. So when it comes to sort of the history and really looking at everything that's happened to this asset, we have a much longer track record for a lot of the assets in our platform. The other side of it is that the way information travels right now, the last 5 years, 10 years, 5 years specifically, the ability to understand exactly what's happening in the space around any of these collectibles has grown dramatically. So whereas for a publicly traded company, you're looking at something where it might be a ticker symbol and there's some speculation around it and there's the potential for forward earnings and you're looking at a million message boards. The information around the 1955 Porsche Speedster is consolidated with a group that truly does care about it. So the ability to access that information is way more prevalent when it comes to some of these collectibles than it is for publicly traded companies. So factor all that into the fact that this asset class has typically outperformed and has been pretty non-correlated to general equities markets. And it becomes a really interesting investment for somebody who's been on the sidelines watching those prices move for the last 10 or 15 years, but hasn't been able to get involved because the price points are so incredibly high. So that's kind of like the factors that play into the way that we look at these investments. And I think the way a lot of our investors look at them as well.